Welcome to the Tea with the Masters podcast, featuring 3 of the world's leading martial arts experts: the warrior, world-breaking champion, holder of multiple world records, professional teacher, mentor, and World Martial Arts Congress representative for the Republic of Ireland, Dai Sifu Keith Fanning; the scholar, author, speaker, mentor, business coach, life coach, and president of the USA Hapkido Union, Grandmaster Richard Hackworth; the philosopher, author, language culture, and leadership development teacher, and spokesmodel for the World Martial Arts Congress, Instructor Ma. This show is sponsored by World Martial Arts Media. The world's leader in martial arts education, information, and entertainment. We invite you to like and share this video with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that you never miss an exciting episode. Now let's get on with the show.
Hi folks, Dai Sifu Keith Fanning here, owner and Grandmaster of Blue Dragon Combat Systems. This is my little segment for the Tea with the Masters podcast, and on today's segment I'd like to talk to you about something known as the wall. The wall is something I think every martial artist hits at some point in their life, where they kind of get to the point of going, what's the point of training today? Why do I want to train today? Why am I training at all? You know, there's certain different ways that you look at it. And again, the first time I ever encountered the wall was when one of my jiu-jitsu instructors, about 30 years ago, wrote a piece, a one-page piece. And it was all about the wall. It was about how you hit the wall and how you need to look at yourself and overcome the wall. But it never gave me the answer. Kind of like a bit cryptic in terms of, really like Yoda, you know. It's kind of gives you the problem, but doesn't give you the answer on how to solve. I suppose it's something you have to figure out yourself. So fast forward a couple of years and I hit the wall for the first time myself. I'm kind of looking at it going, what's the point? I'm tired. I've had a long week in work. You know, I came up with every excuse why I didn't want to train. But I went training. A couple of minutes in, once the sweat starts to roll and you're kind of getting into the mode, and suddenly you're getting the endorphins, everything's starting to feel good, you know, the body's starting to wake up, you know, the muscles are starting to relax, and you're kind of going, wow, yeah, I'm enjoying this now, this is fun again. But the purpose of today's piece about the wall is why. The word why. Why do I want to train today? Why am I training? It's finding your why. So we could have hit this one with a double-edged sword in terms of you need to know why. You need to find your why. So finding your why. Why do you train? Do you train for the social aspect? Do you train for self-defense? Do you train to get fit? Do you train because it's something you really enjoy doing? Or do you train just because it's time for you? These are all part of your why. Now, as I said to you, I've talked to martial arts masters, grandmasters, and general students about hitting the wall. Now, I've been controversially. I've been, the difference between a part-time and a full-time martial arts student in terms of you've got the students who do 2 1-hour classes per week. They're martial artists, but then you've got the other guys who train 2 hours per day. They're full-time martial artists. In terms of, they're putting more effort and time in, and my master always said you get back what you put in. So the more effort you put in, the more you get back in return. I've always been a firm believer that I train every day, purely and simply because of the fact that you never know when I'm going to need my martial arts. And if it's been a week since I trained martial arts, I got to now search into the memory bank to find a technique that fits the situation. Whereas when I train daily, it seems that the techniques come more easily, kind of like driving. You know how to press the clutch, the pedals, you know when to brake, you know when to let off. So it becomes an unconscious movement, an unconscious response. We could go into a different one on that one. I'll do that at a later date. But this is finding your why, and I think no matter where you are in martial arts, whether you've been training for 1 year or 50 years, sometimes you hit that wall and you got to question yourself and say, why am I doing it? But then you find your why, and it gives you the inspiration to go back and train harder. And finding a goal. I love having a goal to train for, you know. I love when we've got a tournament coming up. I love when we've got, gradings coming up. I love when, because now you've got to focus and you know your why. And it's easy to figure out your why. But it's on those times where you don't have a tournament, you don't have a grading, you're just training because you need to train and you want to train. But that's finding your why. And I know some people know their why every day that they go training. And like I said to you, my why is purely and simply, I never know when I'm going to need it. I never know when I'm going to need to guard my kids, protect my kids. I never know when I'm going to have to protect me or my wife, or any of my family. I never know when a situation is going to occur. So having my why is to be in the best position possible to protect myself and my loved ones. That's my why. It doesn't have to be your why. Your why can be something completely different. Your why can be the social aspect of going down. Like when I train in the jiu-jitsu club, we would go training was from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. twice a week. But at 10:05, we were heading towards the local bar to have a sit down. We would have, some of the guys would have a couple of pints, some of the guys would have a couple of cokes, whatever. But we would sit and talk about training. So it kept the training going for another hour or two. And it was a social aspect as much as it was a training aspect. So it was good. It was enjoyable. It was a very family orientated environment where you could have that fun and that talk, and if you had questions about something you trained that night, it was a good time. But again, these were the people that initially taught me about the wall. Now, when you look at finding your why, like I said to you, there's no such thing as, the old saying that, oh, that's a stupid question. There's no actual thing as a stupid question. And if you're not sure of your why, you can always ask your instructor, why do you do it? Why are you here? Ask your friend who's in the martial arts class, why are you here? Because sometimes the inspiration comes from listening to their why. It's not that you have to copy or your why has to be the same as theirs. It can purely and simply be an inspiration. Go, oh, that makes sense to me too. So when you're looking inside at yourself and you're doing a little bit of self-reflection on your why and why you train, it's not that you have to question yourself all the time. It's just sometimes when you hit that wall, you're saying, what is the point today? I'm tired, I've had a long week, it's cold, it's miserable, I don't want to go back out in the wet. And then you go, but why am I training? So again, hopefully you've enjoyed this piece, folks, about finding your why. And again, we could have called it the wall and your why, finding your why. But make up your own decisions on it. Hopefully you enjoyed the piece. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out on social media. You'll find me all across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And my email address is sifufanning@gmail.com. sifufanning.com is my website. There's also a contact page there. As I said, thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed putting it together. Thank you.
Ready to become a life champion? Dive into Be a Life Champion, The Martial Arts Way by Grandmaster Richard Hackworth, the ultimate guide to unlocking your potential using martial arts principles. Transform your life using the powerful techniques and wisdom found in martial arts. This book will inspire you to conquer challenges and elevate every aspect of your life. Master the art of living like a true champion. Available now on Amazon. Martial Arts Lifestyle 365, the world's leading martial arts resource.
Hello, I am Richard Hackworth. I am the USA Director for the Korean Martial Arts Instructors Association and the USA Director for the World Martial Arts Congress. I am also the host of the annual Hapkido Instructors Course and Conference in the USA, sanctioned by the USA Hapkido Union and the Korean Martial Arts Instructors Association. Over the years, I have earned the reputation of being a scholar of the history, culture, and traditions of the Korean martial arts. I hope that you will find my part of the show informative and educational. This part of the show is sponsored by usahapkidunion.org. Today's topic is acceptance, living in the shadow of death. Introduction. Acceptance can be defined as the act of accepting or assenting, agreeing either expressly or by conduct, an act or offer. In feudal times, this was part of the warrior lifestyle, to know that you may face death while performing your duties protecting yourself and others in the training hall. Acceptance is something that comes easily and often in a training hall. First, one accepts the fact that one is a very lowly student in a system that goes back centuries. Then one accepts the fact that one now has someone over him or her in the manner of a medieval craftsman guild, wherein he or she is the master and the student is a lowly apprentice. Then comes acceptance of the fact that the training is not what was expected and is more vigorous and demanding than anticipated. Finally, comes the acceptance that one is not getting a black belt before the 1st of next month. It is only much later that the larger acceptance is to be had, that what one is training to do requires lifelong education and practice. More importantly, however, is that the self-defense aspects of the program are truly intended to provide one the skills necessary to defend their own life or that of another, and that the outcome could possibly be less than the one fervently desired. In daily life, many people living in the 21st century are living in a bubble. Every little girl knows that she can grow up to be a princess. Every little boy knows that he can be a sports hero. Both know that they can grow up to be whatever they want to be and to do whatever they want to do. They know this because this is what their parents or extended family members and family friends tell them. In school, they play sports in which there are no losers. The concept of cause and effect is no longer in vogue. The fact that actions have consequences is often not introduced into their personal knowledge base until they are standing in a courtroom before a judge. Masters and instructors have a moral and ethical duty to ensure that guardians in training understand the practical applications of what is taught in the training hall. Further, to ensure that the guardian in training is able to take that understanding and apply it in real life. If the guardian in training cannot accept the fact that they may need to use the self-defense skills they are being taught in a real-world life and death situation, they should be removed from training. Guardians in training also need to accept the fact that while their self-defense skills may tilt the scales in their favor, success is never guaranteed. Good guys do die. Of course, the final acceptance is of the fact that no one, including a guardian, gets out of life alive. I want to personally thank you for supporting today's show. I invite you to join the Korean Martial Arts Instructors Association today. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Remember, the journey to the heart of Hapkido begins with a single step. Get started today. Don't go away. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors. If you practice Taekwondo, Tongsudo, Hapkido, Judo, or any other Korean martial art, you will find the top experts in the world in our community at facebook.com/groups/Korean martial arts. We invite you to join today.
Hello, I am Instructor Ma. I am the World Martial Arts Congress Language, Culture, and Character Development Teacher. This portion of the show is sponsored by worldmartialartscongress.cn. While you are here, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button and share this video with a friend. It helps more than you know. Now on with the show. These 6 awesome Zen stories teach important life lessons. Stories are wonderful teaching tools. Part of their usefulness comes from their versatility. As in, the message I pick up from a certain story might not be the same one you receive, but they are just as important as each other and serve a purpose. The reason stories are more effective teaching tools is because rather than being directly told, this is good, this is important, and this is how this works, stories allow you to creatively figure things out for yourself and apply the lesson where it needs to be learned. Zen stories are known for their ways of teaching life lessons through some level of meditative contemplation. They speak of things that everyone can learn from and are basically stories about life, spoken in truths. The following 6 Zen stories will teach you some important life lessons. They are beautiful and beneficial to anyone. 1. Everything changes. Suzuki Roshi, I've been listening to your lectures for years, a student said during the question and answer time following a lecture. But I just don't understand. Could you just please put it in a nutshell? Can you reduce Buddhism to one phrase? Everyone laughed. Suzuki laughed. Everything changes, he said. Then he asked for another question. One of Buddhism's foremost teachings is how everything in life is ever-changing and impermanent. Suzuki Roshi, Shunryu Suzuki of Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, refers to this impermanence when he says, everything changes. This seems like a pretty simple teaching, but it is actually one of the deepest lessons one can learn. I'll try to sum it up in as few words as possible. Impermanence encompasses everything. For that reason, we could not possibly comprehend its full magnitude, even if we contemplated it for hours on end. We are impermanent. Our loved ones are impermanent, as are our homes, our pets, and even our planet. This is important because it teaches us that the very act of holding on to things is one of the major reasons why we suffer. If we were to live fully aware of the constantly changing nature of reality and appreciate the present, we would be much happier. Letting go isn't the answer, because what's more important is not grasping in the first place. We can find peace in everyday life if we learn to live this way. 2. Empty your cup. Nan-in, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, 1868 to 1912, received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. Nan-in served tea. He poured his visitor's cup full and then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he no longer could restrain himself. It is overfull. No more will go in. Like this cup, Nan-in said, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup? This story is self-explanatory, so I'll leave it at that. 3. Non-judgment. Once upon the time there was an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day, his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. Such bad luck, they said sympathetically. Maybe, the farmer replied. The next morning the horse returned, bringing with it 3 other wild horses. How wonderful, the neighbors exclaimed. Maybe, replied the old man. The following day his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses, was thrown, and broke his leg. The neighbors again came to offer their sympathy on his misfortune. Maybe, answered the farmer. The day after, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. The neighbors congratulated the farmer on how well things had turned out. Maybe, said the farmer, I love this one. Non-judgment is being practiced here by the farmer. The true nature of life is understood by him, and he realizes that no event can be judged in an end manner. Our lives aren't written to play out like works of fiction. There aren't absolute breaks which separate one moment from another, and there isn't one finalized formula which everything builds to. Labeling something as good or bad is irrelevant because there are more than 1 million effects which can rise from one event. Both good and bad are interconnected at all times and are part of the impermanence. If things seem perfect, they aren't, and if things seem horrible, they aren't, and it's all because of change. Through ever-present changes, we can appreciate and implement non-judgment into our lives. Try to look at your life through the lens of this infinitely coexisting universe. A great sense of peace can be gained just by going through this act of observation. 4. Right and wrong. When Benkei held his seclusion weeks of meditation, pupils from many parts of Japan came to attend. During one of these gatherings, a pupil was caught stealing. The matter was reported to Benkei with the request that the culprit be expelled. Benkei ignored the case. Later, the pupil was caught in a similar act, and again Benkei disregarded the matter. This angered the other pupils, who drew up a petition asking for the dismissal of the thief, stating that otherwise they would leave in a body. When Benkei had read the petition, he called everyone before him. You are wise brothers, he told them. You know what is right and what is not right. You may go somewhere else to study if you wish, but this poor brother does not even know right from wrong. Who will teach him if I do not? I am going to keep him here, even if all the rest of you leave." A torrent of tears cleansed the face of the brother who had stolen. All desire to steal had vanished. Most people would quickly turn their back on someone who commits a crime, like stealing, similar to how the pupils did. But this story teaches us to look deeper than the act and see the human being that lies beneath, a human who simply needs to be shown kindness and the path. Writing people off is easy to do when they falter, and expressing compassion might be something other than easy. But the bottom line is that we are all in this life together. We can't just help the ones who show good behavior, since the ones who need it most often exhibit the opposite. We should strive to help lift those up who have fallen, despite their flaws, just as we would lift ourselves up. 5. Be the boss. A horse suddenly came galloping quickly down the road. It seemed as though the man had somewhere important to go. Another man, who was standing alongside the road, shouted, "Where are you going?" And the man on the horse replied, "I don't know. Ask the horse." This short, well-known Zen story has a powerful teaching behind it. The horse is symbolic of our habitual energy, or what drives us on autopilot most times. This story tells us the funny way we usually live, at the mercy of our habits that haven't come from intentional actions, but rather mindless activity and surroundings instead. Our habitual energy drags us along, pulling us in every direction at a hurried pace, and we don't even know why. Stop to ask yourself why you are running around so much, and you might be surprised at the lack of answers coming forth. And when you do find an answer, it's usually not a great one. You've become used to it because that is how we were taught to live. Forget the running around aimlessly. It gets us nowhere. Learn how to take the reins and let the horse know who's the boss. 6. Watch yourself. There was once a pair of acrobats. The teacher was a poor widower and the student was a young girl by the name of Meta. These acrobats performed each day on the streets in order to earn enough to eat. Their act consisted of the teacher balancing a tall bamboo pole on his head while the little girl climbed slowly to the top. Once to the top, she remained there while the teacher walked along the ground. Both performers had to maintain complete focus and balance in order to prevent any injury from occurring and to complete the performance. One day, the teacher said to the pupil, "Listen, Meta, I will watch you and you watch me so that we can help each other maintain concentration and balance and prevent an accident. Then we'll surely earn enough to eat." But the little girl was wise. She answered, "Dear master, I think it would be better for each of us to watch ourselves. To look after oneself means to look after both of us. That way, I am sure we will avoid any accidents and earn enough to eat." This story was said to have been taught by the Buddha himself. It is meant to show that taking care of yourself is imperative to taking care of others. We must help ourselves in order to help anyone else. When we nourish our minds and our bodies, we automatically begin to treat those around us with more kindness and compassion. We naturally begin to create a more positive impact on the world around us. The Buddha also said that by taking care of others, showing them love and understanding, we take care of ourselves. For more information on joining the World Martial Arts Congress or getting our character development program for your school, please visit our page at www.facebook.com/World Martial Arts Congress. If you got something from this video, and I certainly hope that you did, it would mean a lot to me if you liked and commented on this video. Thank you for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is time for you, yes you, to follow the world's leading martial arts profile at Instagram.com/WMA Media Official, where you can get the most motivational, inspirational, and educational advice from the world's leading martial arts organizations all in one place.
Hello, I'm Grandmaster Ronald Stone, and today I would like to share my view of martial arts as a senior. I want to impart a vision of how martial arts fosters good character in seniors. As a senior citizen who has dedicated over 5 decades to the study of martial arts, I have experienced firsthand the profound impact it can have on one's character. Martial arts are not limited to physical techniques. It is a lifelong journey that molds individuals into people of good character. In this article, I will share my insights on how studying martial arts can help seniors develop and embody qualities that contribute to their personal growth and the betterment of society. Let's talk about commitment. Martial arts require discipline and commitment, traits that are essential for personal development at any age. Seniors who embark on the martial arts path cultivate discipline by adhering to training schedules, consistently practicing techniques, and embracing the philosophy of their chosen art. This discipline carries over into their daily lives, helping them maintain healthy habits, pursue personal goals, and stay mentally and physically active. Through the discipline of martial arts, seniors become individuals who are committed to self-improvement and continuous growth. Then there is resilience. Seniors who study martial arts develop resilience and adaptability through their training. The physical demands and challenges they encounter on the mat teach them to push beyond their comfort zones, embrace difficulties, and persevere in the face of obstacles. Martial art training fosters mental fortitude, allowing seniors to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. By learning to adapt to different techniques, opponents, and training environments, seniors become more flexible and open-minded individuals who can effectively adapt to change and embrace new experiences. Another aspect is respect. Martial art training instills humility and respect in seniors as they learn from their instructors, training partners, and the art itself. They recognize that martial art is a lifelong journey of learning and that there is always room for improvement. Seniors who study martial arts develop a deep respect for the knowledge and experience of others, embracing a humble mindset that fosters a sense of camaraderie and community. This humility and respect extend beyond the training environment, influencing their interactions with others and cultivating harmonious relationships. One aspect that I find important today is ethical values. Martial arts emphasize the importance of integrity and ethical values, teaching seniors to uphold honor, honesty, and fairness. Seniors who study martial arts become individuals of good character who embody these values in their daily lives. They understand the significance of making ethical choices and acting with integrity, even when faced with difficult situations. The cultivation of integrity and ethical values in martial arts fosters seniors who are trusted and respected members of society, inspiring others through their actions and words. And last but not least are the benefits of well-being. Martial arts provides seniors with a path to inner peace and well-being. The physical training, breathing exercises, and meditative aspects of martial arts promote mental and emotional balance. Seniors who study martial arts learn to channel their energy, calm their minds, and find harmony within themselves. This inner peace translates into their interactions with others, fostering compassion, empathy, and a positive outlook on life. By cultivating a sense of well-being through martial arts, seniors become individuals who radiate positivity and inspire those around them. I hope that you would agree with me that studying martial arts is a lifestyle that shapes seniors into individuals of good character. Through discipline, resilience, humility, integrity, and inner peace, seniors who embark on the martial arts path become beacons of positivity and wisdom. Martial arts provides them with a lifelong pursuit that enhances their physical, mental, and emotional well-being, allowing them to lead fulfilling lives and make meaningful contributions to their communities. Embrace the martial arts journey and let it be a catalyst for personal growth and the cultivation of good character in your senior years. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you will enjoy other episodes of the show here on this channel.
You have been enjoying the Tea with the Masters podcast, the world's foremost martial arts lifestyle podcast. On behalf of our show hosts, we thank you for watching and remind you to visit our sponsor, worldmartialartsmedia.com, the world's leader in martial arts education, information, and entertainment. We look forward to having you join us again next time. We love to hear from you, so please feel free to leave us some words of encouragement in the comments section.